This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, what do you have on the charts today? It's not a chart, it's actually what you've been reading and what you wanted to review today. So, what you got?
Yeah, that's right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, from listening to the previous podcast, then you are already dead. That's right. It's Fist of the North Star, one of the most iconic Shonen Jump series of all time. And yes, this is a Shonen Jump series. This is like from the same magazine that gave us like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, like Chainsaw Man. It's like one of it's like Shonen Jump has been like the standard bearer for like action series for like aimed at young adults like for decades now. It's like, and the reason it's been able to to do that is because it's just like it does a great job of just just like citing what's popular. It's like, and just what is like what is like like has the most mass appeal like to everyone. And Fist of the North Star is one of the outliers in this regards because it is like kind of in the standard bearer for the series. Like hey, your parents don't want you to read this because it's really violent. I mean, insanely violent in a sense that its protagonist is all about just like punching a dude and then just like seeing his head explode because he's a bad person. Well, not the protagonist, because Kenshiro is a great avatar of humanity and all, but no, like, the people he punches, they're bad people. Like that's how it is. And that's basically the thrust of like Fist of the North Star. It's basically asks what if Mad Max, like the Road Warrior, but instead of like like muscle cars and everything, what if its protagonist was just like really great at martial arts, like who had this like in that this like legendary like martial arts styling behind him, like an assassin's legendary assassin's fist known as a Hokuto Shinken. Like if whoever he punched, like they would just like explode because like they were just like like on the receiving end. It's just such righteousness, and that's basically the thrust of the series at all. Like now, I those of you who like read the blog and have long memories will recall that I originally like wrote about wrote about Fist of the North Star back. It's like a couple years back, and just said that hey, it's like if you're going to enjoy the series, you need to just like embrace its like simple pleasures. The fact that its protagonist, like Kenshiro, like is like like the ultimate avatars of good in in this series, and that whoever he fights, like whoever he punches, like is just going to be like like on like just like a bad person who deserves like all the violence he's going to inflict upon them. Because whenever Kenshiro fights someone, like either it's like three things are going to happen. One, like their heads are going to explode because they're just downright bad people. Like they're just like evil people who just like succumb to the fact that hey, like this is like the post-apocalypse. Again, the world is like been reborn in nuclear fire, and then hey, like the old rules don't apply anymore, so we're just gonna take whatever we want. And like, ha. It's like like it's just like you're just like the really evil, like maniacal, like bad people who just deserve to die. And Kenshiro just punches those dudes and their head explodes, and then all is right with the world. Then you've got the like the dudes who like it's like who he punches. It's like, and then they it's like, and then they realize that, oh, wait a second, no, let me tell you about like how my life has like led me to this point. And then he realizes that oh wait, you're actually like a good person, so no, you don't need to die. It's like, and I'm just going you're my brother, and I'm going to fight with you, like for the future, like of this world and all. And then there's the third type who is like he fights them, and yeah, and then after he punches them, they realize that oh, I realize that I have been like like wrong in my approach to this world, and now it's like, I need to like make amends before I die, and then blah. So there you go. So here's the thing you need to know about enjoying Fist of the North Star. This is a very serious series. From writer Buron-san, also known as Sho Fumimura, who is also responsible for the great like a mafia Yakuza series, Sanctuary, also published by Viz, way back in the day, um, like when when their attempt to publish my Fist of the North Star properly didn't pan out. But also he also delivered the great like like punchy like bad dude series Strain, which is also a lot of fun on its own terms. And from the artist Hara Tetsuro. It's like who delivers great detailed art, like when it comes to just selling Kichiro's either his implacable determination to beat the dude in front of him, or just his rage against the people who were just not conforming to a discernible sense of morality and all. So, and the thing is, Bronson and Hara's sensibilities really sync well together because they do a good job for a lot of for a good portion of the series. It's just like setting up just bad guys who are just like villains who just deserve to be punched by Kinshiro and just have their heads exploded as a result, or just like guys who just who are just misguided, and just Kenshiro just has to come to an understanding before he punches them to death and all. And there's in terms of the arc of Fist of the North Star, there's basically three parts to it. There's the first part, which basically has Kenshiro just finding out just what happened to his girlfriend Yuria, and dealing with his former former comrade Shin, like how he stole Yuria from him, and just how that turned out. And then him finding eventually dealing with the what happened to his brothers in learning the Hokuto Shinken art. And, while Kenshiro was determined to be the successor for this legendary martial art, well, turns out that his brothers had their own means to like in order to determine how they were going to be like the rightful successors of it. I mean, well, Toki may have resigned himself to it, but his brother Rao decided I have my own desire. I'm going to defy the gods in order to be the ultimate fighter and all. And the the first 10 volumes of this series, well, in the edition that Viz has published, because Viz initially tried to do this back in the 90s, and it didn't work out for, I guess you could say, reasons, because I guess people weren't ready for the brawny ultra manly simplistic storytelling of Fist of the North Star. But then another try was given, because people in Japan realized that this is one of our greatest stories, so you got to give us another try. And then Gatsun tried this with their attempt to republish the series in Raijin Comics, and giving it the deluxe treatment in their Fist of the North Star deluxe editions. That didn't work out because Gatsun's attempt to do this was just way too manly for for an audience that was being bred on the likes of Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto at the time. But when Biz give it another shot a few years back, hey, it's apparently, like, this has been the point when, like, we realize that, hey, there's all these, like, classic Shonen Jump series that, had, like, like a dedicated audience and that, were, like, in like foundational to the brand. Well, like they're like now we realize that, hey, we've got, like, enough people to, like, get on board with this, and that's what finally allowed Viz to publish, the entirety of Fist of the North Star to its completion in 18 volumes, like in the oversized hardcover, like editions. So this is what I'm talking about right here. And well, if you do want to read Fist of the North Star, well, let me tell you this: the best stuff is in volumes 1 through 10. You can read volumes 1 through 10 and stop, and that's all you need right there, because that's basically like the saga of Kenshiro coming into his own, fighting against, like, the nastiest of people, and then, like, fighting, coming to, like, his own reckoning with his brothers and their own, like, bad people who they've got, like, fighting with them, and also his it's like his love of his life, like Yuria as well. Like volumes 1 through 10 basically, tell you, like, this epic story of like a blood feud, like, finally being settled. And I get the feeling that, if Bronson and Tetsuro Hara, had like a choice, they would have ended things right there. Just ended it like, just like, hey, this is it, this is it. No more. Because, well, I think that like Shonen Jump has basically gotten better at realizing that, that their stories need to end, and that you can't just, keep extending them indefinitely. Because if you do, then, you just, like, you run the risk of just, having its creators just, basically saying, like, okay, yeah, we got an idea for, like, our next, we can do from here, but, after that, fuck it, man. It's like, we'll just keep going and all. So the thing is, like, after volume 10, well, then you get the story of, like several years later, with Kenshiro, okay, you coming back in order to, like, like assert, like, more dominance over, like, over the land, after, like, after he's, like, been away, living, like, the good life with his girl Yuria. But then she died because, hey, that's them's the breaks and all. And and then when he does, finally come back, he realizes that, he finds out that, hey, there's another, like, greater, like, threat across the sea that, has, like, ties to, not just, like, Rao's, like 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 heritage, but also his own as well. And, like, there's, like, even more bad dudes, like, that he needs to fight and defeat and all. So then you've so on one hand, I gotta give credit for, like, Bronson and Hara, like, in terms of just, like 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 delivering, like, another, like, solid arc that goes on for another 6 volumes in the Viz additional. But after they do that, well, we don't actually get, like, a lot of like, anything, like, really good after that. Well, okay, like, it's what we like after they after after, like, they deliver the arc that has, like, Kenshiro beating up Rao's, like, secret older brother, like in this arc. Well, it's like he's got like there's another arc about, like, these like three heirs to a kingdom who have to, like, defeat, like, who just, can't like, like, agree on who's going to be the like, the heir to this kingdom, and I can sure has to, like, settle this like, dispute for the king, and also, like, for the rival kingdom, who is just like, like, who's just, like, bitter because, like, hey, it's like, my like my sister died because she believed in God, and then she died, and like I'm angry at God, and like anything anyone who like has that like who believes in God as a result. It's like like that's angry. I'm bitter and all. It's like, and then you got the and then you get the feeling that like after that like you feel that that after that they were just like keeping the series going because it was popular, people were reading it, but then like they realized that okay, it's like people aren't reading this anymore, so like okay, just give us like a final arc, and then we get this like final storyline where Kenshiro loses his memory. It's again has to like 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 fight against people who like who were trying to like kill him, and like his and this one girl Rin who he rescued it like back in the day, and how and also who were sent by Bat, who was like like the kid's sidekick, because that all shonen heroes have to have. But it's silly, it's ridiculous, and I wouldn't say it's like necessarily like like a read that you need to like enjoy in order to like it's like in order to get the most out of the series. I mean, yeah, it's like in the end, like Kenshiro like ends the series by saying the line like, "Hey, you are already dead," which is like one of the most iconic lines like in manga and Shonen Jump history. But by the time he does that, it's kind of like the series is just kind of like spent all of its like it's like all of its like all of its goodwill. It's like and actual dramatic momentum as well. So basically, it's like I did I did enjoy reading, and also like just shotgunning like like these volumes. So like Viz released the entirety of Shonen Jump, entirety of like Fist of the North Star, which I believe is like 28 volumes in 18 US volumes, which is great. I mean, like, hey, more for your money, right there. But like, hey, if you want to, like, get the best out of the series, to just read volumes 1 through 10, and that's like that will give you like a definite solid end right there. And I do commend Bronson and Tsuruhara for for coming back and delivering a integral chapter like between volumes 10 and 11 to show you what Kenshiro was up to, or just how he got back into his groove, between those volumes. So yeah, it's like I appreciate the their effort and their dedication to the series. But if you want to like, get the absolute best, iconic interpretation of the series, just read volumes 1 through 10. Um, 11 through 16, which basically shows you the story of like Kenshiro going across the sea to find out his familiar links like around that time, like that's good, but like I don't think you like absolutely need to do that. But overall, it's like it's like fits the North Star. It's like I said, if you want to like, just enjoy a good series where you've got just like a righteous hero, like a badass dude who just is like is good, like is like beats up bad guys, and just even when he like loses, like when he loses against like that guy Souther, who has like oh, he's got a secret way of like defeating like Kenshiro's like striking the pressure points and all. It's like there's a like there's a means like to defeat like that Kenshiro finds a way around that as well. And also just in terms of just manly like shonen jump stuff, because not for nothing, there's a reason that all the characters from this series map really well onto the characters from Yakuza or Like a Dragon, to the point where like you can get like the Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise game on the PS4, and just saying, marvel at the fact that, wow, it's like this is just this like the Yakuza storyline. It's just like Fist of the North Star, but in like modern times and all. Like it makes perfect sense, and I love. That's a great game. That I will say that rereading all this did make me want to go and replay Fist of the North Star: Lost Paradise like on my PS5. But also just like hey, like it's it's a great solid story that has endured over over the decades. And yeah, it's like hey, it's like it may be silly, maybe like really straightforward and simplistic, but it's like there's a reason it is endured. It's like it is just really just like like Buron-san and Tsuruhara really understood like how to like make a great protagonist, how to make like that protagonist stand out against like really despicable like villains. It's like and it's and it's really good fun like over the course of its run. Just not all of its run. So there you go. It's like, so yeah, it's like I enjoyed it, but just maybe not all of it, you know?
All right. Well, that's probably enough said about that. So, what are you going to be talking about next time?
Well, it's like I don't know yet, but if I don't know right now, then maybe I would just, like mark time by talking about the time that Godzilla fought a bunch of Marvel heroes like over the decades. But who can say? So we'll see how that goes.
All right. I'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Later's everyone.